Hi, everyone. Sorry about the 3-minute delay. I was looking around for the buttons to press. Couldn't find the frickin' button to go live. Ugh, all these frickin' buttons. I thought they had people who were supposed to use Java were supposed to make this stuff user friendly. Now, either, I'm particularly, difficult to please, let's say, when it comes to user friendly stuff, which is entirely possible, or this shit is not intuitive. Looking around for set up the schedule, looking around for the button to press. Finally found it. All right, we're ready to go, right? Okay. Thankfully, I was getting nervous there. Okay, I got it together. Not that many games tonight. Good news is that I have a bunch of very strong reads on the games coming up later on, which I will share with you. Only a handful of games tonight, a very modest amount of games, which is always very nice to see because you can really dig in and do in-depth research and analysis on each game. Let me just make sure that everything is copacetic here. Let me make sure we got some comments. I'll go over the games that are coming up later on, 8 o'clock and later that I feel like I have some nice angles on. Auburn, NC State is very interesting. I think I'm liking NC State. Northern Arizona game is very interesting. I think I'm liking Northern Arizona. A couple of big dogs that a lot of people I've seen are liking, including Wofford, that I'm not sold on. Well, the Wofford game is already off. Florida A&M as well. I'm not particularly sold on them as a big dog as I was earlier in the season. If you remember, they were one of my second half plays, I believe, against Portland. I just want to make sure that the comments are coming in so I can see them. Let me just find where the hell we are. But I know we're live. Right? We're streaming live. Here we go. Let me click on this. We got a bunch of minutes before the half times come so we can get to everything that I wanted to get into. Right. Okay. Here we go. Dub B, Jonathan Nelson, Bogey 34. Shout out to you. All right. Just want to make sure that everyone is here and able to comment. Okay. Got it. Everything good. Okay. We're live. So yesterday was an interesting day. There were a bunch of losses, bunch of close losses, bunch of the losses tended to come earlier in the video, and then the winners came later. So it might have seemed like the day was worse than it actually was. It was actually a slight winning day with a bunch of close losses. And as I said from day one when I was doing this show, when I started this show, that's sort of the standard of how this is going to be. Right? When you do shows like this, anything in sports betting, you're going to have the odd day where you go 6-2, 7-2, and you look like some kind of godlike handicapping figure, but that's due to randomness and variance, right? Most of the time, if you're good, if you really know what you're doing, you're going to be slightly up. You're going to have your big winning days, your big losing days, your smartest losing days, and then overall, you're going to be hopefully positive by the end of the season or whatever it is that you're measuring. And that's what I'm expecting here. So yes, there's going to be a lot of 9 and 7 days, stuff like that, where if you tail 3 of the plays and they happen to be all losers, you'll lose. What can I tell you? This is the way this stuff goes. People who say that they're 18-3 over the last whatever plays and stuff, it might be true, might not be true, but it's definitely not likely going forward, right? The best in the business going forward, 54%, 55% in smaller markets and props, 56%, 57%, something like that. But that's what we're looking at, right? That's what we're looking at in all areas of sports betting. So I made my official record overall on the year so far in this show for my graphic. It's 10% ROI weighted, about 6.5% ROI flat, which is fine, which is exactly roughly what I was hoping for. And that's it. All right, we'll do some shout outs and then we'll talk about the games that I'm looking at later on today. And then in about 18 minutes or so, we'll get to the second half lines that are coming in. Nate Dog 420, Peter, good to see you, brother. How you been? I've been not bad, been not bad. Good in some ways, average in others. This show, though, has made me feel great. The camaraderie, the jokes, the entertainment, it's all been coming together. And of course, the main ingredient, the picks, thankfully, have been positive. They've actually been more positive than I needed to have the show be good. As I said in the beginning of this show, and I say in all shows that I do, if I'm up, 1/10 of a unit, that's good enough for me, which is obviously a joke, but the point is well taken. You know what I'm saying? Just as long as I'm a little bit up, that's the best that I can, hope for and expect and all that. And I'm doing a little bit better than that so far overall. So everything's been good. Alex Ramirez, shout out to you, Alex Ramirez. Don't think I don't recognize who are the people who are here from the beginning, who are here from the very fucking beginning. I don't know where this is all going to wind up, but I'll tell you one thing about me, and you might already be able to guess this about me. I don't forget who's who what's what, where's where, and when's when. You know what I'm saying, Alex Ramirez? I don't forget who's who, what's what, where's where, and when's when. And I fucking know you were here from the fucking beginning, Alex Ramirez, showing love, giving support. I remember that like I can remember the Northern Arizona, new coach and all the minutiae of college basketball. Shout out to you, Alex Ramirez. Flipper 13, Grover Alex, Nate Dogg, David Hutton, EJ, John Dolphin, Bogey 34. Shout out to you. We few, we band of brothers. All right, let's see what we can do tonight. God, I hope I can give you guys some winners. All right, let's talk about the games that are coming up at 8 o'clock, and then after that. Let's talk about NC State, right? NC State and Auburn. Obviously, Auburn ranked an awesome team, but I like NC State here. I took them plus 7.5. It's also a game that has second half written all over it, so I didn't go crazy. Use money management as I do at all times. But NC State, they shoot better from the free throw line. Auburn has underwhelmed their last two games, ATS, and I'm kind of liking NC State getting 7.5 here. Yes, obviously Auburn is a great team, but NC State, no slouch, have some numbers that look promising, and might be a little bit of an overreaction here to how good Auburn actually is. I kind of like NC State at plus 7.5. Also, let's see, what else do we have? Northern Arizona, right? Northern Arizona plus 5 against UC Riverside. UC Riverside is a team that relies on defense, and they're good at it. But Northern Arizona, first-year coach, right, new coach, and they have some life to them. They're getting a bunch of points here, and it's another game that has second half written all over it, right? If Northern Arizona is down, by whatever, 8, 10, maybe 12 points at the half, and, the second half line is Northern Arizona minus 1.5 or something, that's probably going to be a play that I'm looking at. In general, I kind of like Northern Arizona here, plus the points. They're exceeding early season expectations, and there's a reason why. They have a new coach. They're buying into the system. There's a good feeling there, and they're going up against a team that is just not very reliable offensively. They get it done on defense, which is something that is can be a calling card. But as a favorite against a team with some life to them, kind of like Northern Arizona, and I'll be looking at Northern Arizona second half if they're down, right? Northern Arizona's big problem, again, is defense, and that's not necessarily something that UC Riverside is can be relied on to take advantage of. All right, other games. I've broken all this stuff down. The Washington State game, Florida A&M. It's a tough schedule for Florida A&M, right? They've had a bunch of tough road games where they were a huge favorite, game in and game out, and they were huge underdog. They were too big of an underdog in most of those games. I was looking to bet on them with all those points, second halves and stuff like that. Here, though, this is tough. Florida A&M is still not a very good team. I kind of like the under here at 136.5. I kind of like the under here. I wouldn't want to take them here plus 18. It's going to be a tough assignment. They might cover, they might lose by 14, something like that. We'll see what the halftime brings. But I'm not quick to jump all over Florida A&M here plus 18 just because they've had a bunch of games in a row as a big underdog where they've covered. This is just a little bit of a difficult spot. You know what I mean? You have to be very careful about looking at past results for over a few games, a handful of games, especially in November and December from a team like Florida A&M, and expecting that to continue every single game that they're playing. This is not an easy spot for them because it's the end of a big road trip. Let's see what else we have. Loyola, Maryland against Portland State. This is a very interesting game. The LMU game, they're -3. Remember, the last game was against UC Davis, and I went head-to-head with that on Maxwell Smart against UC Davis. Of course, Loyola Maryland was up by like 20 at the half or something like that. UC Davis came all the way back to win by 2 and cover the -1.5. In retrospect, probably Maxwell Smart and I were both wrong. We probably just should have stayed off the game. But LMU's coming off of that game, and I think this is a nice spot for them. I like LMU here at -3, and this also is a game that probably has second half written all over it. We'll see what the halftime situation is, but I kind of like LMU here at -3, kind of like the over, kind of like the LMU team total over. These are just my thoughts on these games. These are the thoughts that are bouncing around pregame, and then when we see the halftime lines, we adjust our expectations for the second half based on what happened in the first half and what the lines are and everything. Prairie View against Colorado. Now, this is an interesting one. This is a big underdog that I do kind of like. Prairie View plus 20 against Colorado. Prairie View, of course, defending a SWAC regular season tournament champion. Great team. If you don't follow the SWAC, you might not know that, but they are for the SWAC. They're also on a long road trip, which is a tough spot for them. But they've been losing recently, and they had the Player of the Year. The SWAC preseason Player of the Year came back in the Arizona State game, which was 2 games ago. So they were doing a lot of their covering even without him. Now he's back, and Colorado is just not a team that I trust here to cover a 20-point spread against a team like Prairie View. I also kind of like the under here. So I like Prairie View plus 20. I like the under 138 and the Colorado team total under as well. I like that. Let's see. ULM and UALR is an interesting game. I kind of like ULM plus 4.5. Little Rock is the better team, but I think this is just one of these games where it's likely to go down to the wire at 4.5. I like ULM, and it should be a low-scoring game. Small lean to the under, even at 128. Should be a low-scoring game that goes down to the end, so I like ULM there. Kind of a similar situation with Appalachian State and Southern Alabama. That's also at 8 o'clock. Kind of like Appalachian State getting 5.5. I also like the under there a little bit at 141. And so, again, a game that I think is likely to be relatively low scoring, go down to the wire, and I kind of like Appalachian State getting 5.5 there. And then Citadel and Longwood, that's a tough one. I didn't look too in-depth into that one because my numbers just said Citadel plus 6 is a good play. So I didn't question that, and I just entered that as a top-ranked play in my spreadsheet here, Citadel plus 6. Could be wrong about that because I didn't do in-depth research into that. But, oh, wait a minute. Is that a 7 o'clock game? Yeah. All right. Scratch that. That's forget about that. That's already started. The 7 o'clock games, of course, we won't talk about. Obviously, Maryland ranked off a loss, and Seton Hall has a couple of guys injured. So I was liking the under in that one, particularly 138. And I know a lot of people were liking Maryland there at minus 6.5, which I can't disagree with. I like the under a little bit more. And a lot of people were liking Wofford. I was not sold on Wofford. To be quite honest, I was not sold on Wofford. They're a very impressive team, and they're likely to have a lot of more, situations where they're a big underdog and getting covers just like they did in their last game. But I think there was a little bit of an overreaction there, and I didn't bet the game. But if you give me a free bet, I would have taken Duke at 17.5. I know a lot of people I respect, people I don't respect, and people I never heard of, all liking Wofford plus 17.5, which is understandable, right? Just coming off of a huge upset win against UNC, and I didn't bet Duke, but I'm telling you what I think, and I also kind of like the over there. So we got. I'm going to look for comments in a second, but I just wanted to share all the information, all the research I did. Once again, kind of like an Appalachian State plus 5.5. South Alabama team total under. Kind of like in ULM plus 4.5. Definitely think I'm liking Prairie View plus 20. I definitely think I'm liking Prairie View plus 20. I'm definitely maybe liking Prairie View a lot. You know how these sports betting analyses go, right? You're like very, very confident that you might like something. Classic in sports betting, right? I'm sure that I might like this play. That's how I feel about Prairie View plus 20. And I also like the under a little bit less, and Colorado team total under. I'm liking that one too. That one would be like 79. Colorado team total under. And again, NC State Auburn. Kind of like an NC State plus the points at 7.5. LMU, liking them, minus 3 to get a win. Kind of liking the over there as well, and the LMU team total over, and then Northern Arizona at plus 5, and then the Washington State game, kind of liking the under, 136.5. Those are my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed that. I wasn't even checking comments, but that's what I'm going to do now. The second halves aren't going to be up for another few minutes. Shout out to Robbie Tagaloa. Beyond the Blue says, Loshak, you the man. Miss your MAC football picks. You were always right. Yes, I was. Beyond the Blue. And why was that? Because, again, a modest number of games. I could focus in how much did I kill the MAC? Those midweek games. And I'm going to try to do that. Who knows what next year will bring? But, one thing I'm going to try to do is be in a position where I'm not biting off more than I can chew and giving out advice that I possibly could. Sean B. Sean B, shout out to you. Let's see. The over-under for Maryland Live is 109. Yes. Did I mention that I like the under in that one? Yeah. Didn't I say it? I believe I said it. That's in the video just a few minutes ago. Yeah, I like the under on that one. 138 for sure. Let's look for some other comments here, and then I'll start pulling up my sheets for the 7:00 games. Jesse Nemeth, shout out to you. Sean B, shout out to you. Deer Slayer Ski. Let's see. Jonathan Nelson says, damn, Maryland getting blown out with no Miles Powell. Yeah, I mean, it was, Maryland was similar to Wofford. A lot of people loving that. Unders to Alex Ramirez, Pete the Legend. Shout out to you, Alex Ramirez. Alex Ramirez, I don't know what the future holds in store for anyone, and definitely not for me. I know one thing. I know who's who. I know what's what. I know when's when, and I know where's where, and I remember it. I remember it all. Fucking remember it all. And if someone says, hey, was Alex Ramirez there from the beginning, from the second beginning? I'm going to be like, yeah. And then they go, how about this guy who's claiming he was there from the second beginning? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But he says he was, I don't think so. Alex Ramirez, yes. That jerk off, no. I remember this shit. We got 34 viewers. You know what the rule of this show is. If there's one person loving it and two people liking it, done. Mission accomplished, and we're not going to shut the stream off until the games are over. I'm going to give some more shout-outs, and I got to start to put up all my spreadsheets and stuff. So yesterday was frustrating because I was, there were so many games and I got a little bit overwhelmed. And normally when I'm just doing it by myself, I'm looking at how the games are going. So I know which games I'm going to want to look at. And there's other games that I'm going to, I prioritize the games. And yesterday I missed a bunch of games that I would have prioritized if I hadn't been doing a video. The Marist game, the VCU game, the Vermont game, I probably would have had some winners on those. And that's something I got to remember. I got to, when the camera's not on, I do a good job of prioritizing what I'm going to look at. And that's very important, obviously, when there's 17 games, when there's like just 8 or something like that. It doesn't matter. Today there's like 11 or something. So I can't just, it's at 45 minutes past the hour, just start bringing sheets up haphazardly. So I want to bring some sheets up right now, see what the hell is going on here. Shout out to everyone. All right, let's see what we got. All right. I don't know if we're going to go past 7 o'clock because there's no 7:30 games. There's a bunch of 8 o'clock games. I will see. Once again, we'll play it by ear. I'm so thankful that yesterday was overall positive, and I'm also going to find a way to share my picks history so that anyone who wants to spot check any or all of my claimed picks in all these shows can do it. I would love to be audited. I'm going to try to put a link to that on Twitter, and also make a video just explaining how I, grade all these plays and rank them and everything, just so it's crystal clear. Crystal clear. From day one in this business, I've been transparent, which a lot of other people aren't, for good reason, right? You don't make money being transparent. You make money lying in lots of areas of life. Yep, there you go. Duke up by 14. Doesn't mean that Wofford's not going to come back, but I was not buying all that Duke, all that Wofford talk, because obviously, yes, they got a great win over, UNC. I talk about this all the time. There's only 34 people watching this. Trust me, you're going to get good information. People might not know this about me. There was one year, I'm not going to mention the year, but I tracked all my picks on covers. I came in first fucking place in college basketball. This was a year when I had like a boss who supported me. I had people who just wanted me to be the best that I could possibly be, which I tried to do. First fucking place in college basketball on covers. Now, the next year I came in like 2,550th place or whatever. So, something, it's, I'm just saying that I have a little bit of history of doing well in college basketball. Wow, Seton Hall, wow, look, yeah, blowing them the fuck out. And the under is what I was thinking about there. Right, but no bragging. That was a little bit of bragging there. And pride goeth before the fall. I know that because I've been proud and fallen maybe 800 times so far and counting in my life. I got to stop that. Pride goeth before the fall. Pride goeth before the fucking fall. Anyway, so what I was going to say was, You saw the same thing with Evansville when they beat Kentucky, right? It's like, wow, they beat Kentucky. So now, they're going to go and blow out every mediocre team by 20 points and cover 20 games in a row. No, they went out. They lost ATS to ECU by 15 points and stuff like that. Same situation here with Wofford. Again, maybe Wofford will even be a second half play for me. I don't know. But I'm just saying that a lot of people were all over Wofford, understandably, not just because of the UNC game, also because Wofford is an incredibly quality program, mid-major that covers big spreads against favorites going back years, so it's understandable. Again, I didn't bet Duke, but I also didn't bet Wofford. Prairie View, yes, plus 20. No question in my mind that Prairie View plus 20 was a better play than Wofford plus 17.5. I might be wrong. I'm just saying that's what I thought. Okay. All right, the second half line should start to come in right now. Okay. Everyone was liking Wofford. Again, I'm not saying if you're watching the show right now and you were liking Wofford, I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm just saying that. Okay, let's look at the Hofstra Princeton. Oh man, yeah. Fuck. I also liked Hofstra. I also like the under in that one. All right, the line should be coming in. All right. Enough bullshitting around now. Okay, let's get down to it. Man, okay. Here we go. Okay. Shit, Hofstra line is already out. And now, once again, the pressure's on. All this goodwill, all this research, all these jokes. If I go 0-3 today, that's going to be a problem. Okay. Yeah, I liked the under and I liked Hofstra pregame. Oh, boy. Halftime lines are saying Hofstra plus 3.5. Halftime analysis likes Hofstra plus 3.5. And a small lean to under 78. And a small lean to Princeton, team total under 41. You see this? Here you go. Every friggin' time, not every time, 75% of the time, it's stuff like this. Numbers indicating a small lean. So what do I do? Or small edge. So what do I do? Pull the trigger on it and make it part of my official record or not? We'll have to at least indicate this. This is tough. Princeton is a team I do not like to bet against second half, and I like to bet on them. Remember when the first day I took Princeton at some big money line, they won by 10. Princeton is a team I do not like to bet against second half, and I do like to bet on them. If this was anyone but Princeton, I would probably pull the trigger on Hofstra plus 3.5 because the numbers say Hofstra. Small, but that's what they say. And I also liked Hofstra pregame again. The numbers also say under 78. Small. And the numbers say print. My team totals, both second half and pregame, are strong. Those are some strong plays. And this is not me saying, I'm 18-3 over my last blah, blah. No, those are strong plays. Oh, boy. I can't do it. All right. Princeton is not playing a slow-paced game like they used to. They get up there, and in fact, they play better when they have higher-scoring games. They're going to come out and they might make some offensive adjustments here. All right, I'm going to hold off for now. No play on that game, although it's very interesting. Today's show, I might feel more comfortable not giving out so many plays because I gave out what I consider to be so much quality information on the later game. So I think that justifies it. All right, Maryland Seton Hall, let's check it. This is going to be tough also. I like the under, but I don't think that the second half under is going to be indicated here by my numbers. Maryland -8 is the second half line. Yeah, I mean, the pregame says small edge to Maryland -8, and halftime analysis says Pass. Small favors Maryland, but not big enough to bet at minus 110. And then the total, look at that, 71.5. Pre-game says very small to the under. Oof, this is tough. I think this might be a pass as well. Leonard Porsche, you sipping some red wine? No, man, just coffee. I'd make jokes, but I'm too stressed now. See, now I'm stressed. I was happy yesterday night because I added it all up and I was like, oh my God, I was up half a unit. Look at that, despite the Buffalo pick and some other debacles. But here we are again. I gotta find some way to be up a few units tonight as well. I mean, I can handle it. Oh, wow. Yeah, money coming in on the under. All right, let's look for some other lines, hopefully. There will be something. I'm sharing my opinions. All right, the Citadel game. Let's look at that. Excuse me. Yeah, Citadel. Wow, okay. Down by 3, high scoring. Okay, hold on. Shout out to everyone. I love while the numbers process, I know I'm going to have a second and a half to say shout out to everyone. I love you all. I will never forget. Yeah, I hate this because the pregame number says Citadel. Halftime number actually likes Longwood slightly. That's kind of sucks. The pregame number on Citadel is a little stronger, but damn it. Again, it's not that common that the pregame and halftime numbers push the same way. Usually one likes a play and the other one says pass. And then I'll, usually go with what the numbers say on one of those ways. But here, my pregame analysis, the numbers say Citadel +3. Halftime actually says Longwood. So I guess I'm going to have to pass. All right, I don't know. There might not be any picks. I have to make some pick. We don't have to, but Wofford game is up. Marshall, Eastern Kentucky. Let's look at those. Yep. Duke by 13. Look at that. Duke -6 and 74.5. Look at that. Halftime number likes Duke. Oh, brother. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Now it's up to 6 -115. All right, I'm going to make that an official play. We'll see how this turns out. Duke -6, -115. That's an official play. Halftime numbers actually. Oh, my God. No, don't tell me the battery just died there. Oh, you got to be kidding me. The battery in my Bluetooth mouth just died. All right. Wow. All right. So -6, -115. That's going to be an official play on Duke. That's just going to be medium small, though. Going against a lot of people. That'll be a play. -6, -115, medium small. That's actually borderline medium. according to the number, closer to medium than medium small, but I'm just going to grade it medium small because I do have respect for this Wofford team, obviously. The numbers say Duke here. I'm taking it. There you go. There's a pick. Wow, look at that. I can't believe I'm doing this. Going against a lot of people. Some I respect, some I don't respect, some I never heard of. A lot of people liking Wofford. All right, I took it. That's an official play. Medium small. No, this isn't red wine. This is just coffee. The chemicals that make me appear to be all fucked up are natural, inside my brain, created by myself and my fucked up genetics. All right. Duke -6, -115, medium small. Again, if it loses, fine. You know, that would actually be also close to a medium play. All right, enough talking about that. All right, let's look at Eastern Kentucky and Marshall. I cannot believe there it is. There it is. Okay, back. All right. Marshall and Eastern Kentucky. Let's take a look at that. Marshall, Eastern Kentucky. How about that? Duke -6. How about that? Marshall -4.5. I liked Marshall -12 in the beginning. Eastern Kentucky has been very, very blowoutable. Halftime numbers, what do they like here? Yeah, they kind of like Marshall also. And what is it? 4.5. 4.5. 4.5. Yeah. Pre-game and halftime lines like Marshall -4, but small and medium small borderline. All right, that's going to be a play as well, but I'm just going to make it small, graded small. Marshall -4.5, graded small. That's borderline medium small, but I'm just going to stick to small there. Marshall -4.5, small. Also likes small, the Eastern Kentucky team total under, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on that one. All right, made it a play. That's just a small play. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. How about the UT Arlington game? UT Arlington, how about that? You guys know what I'm doing, right? How about that? Danielle Bergoli, one of my role models. Charlotte and Eastern Shore. Yeah, that game is I don't even know if I want to look at that. I'll look at that if there's nothing else coming out. All right, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. All right, here they all come. All right, let me get them all here. Let's look at the Troy game. That's an interesting one. Troy is the worst team, but I kind of liked them. God. Freezing up here. Okay, let's look at the UT Arlington game actually. Oh wow, Troy's up by 14. Yeah, I like Troy. Oh man, another one. I wish I'd given. I might have to start a Patreon where I'm giving out pregame stuff just to let people know. All right, Georgia State -3 and 75. Wow. Yeah, I like Georgia State and the under pregame. UT Arlington had injuries this year, picked second to in the conference, and they are probably going to be a lot better going forward ATS-wise at some point. They're a team I don't necessarily want to be betting against in the near future. That's a tough one. Pre-games likes Georgia State. Halftime numbers say pass. That's a tough one, though. I'm gonna have to. Let me look at the Troy game here. I like Troy in the over in pregame. Oh, God. All right. Yeah, these numbers are so sharp. That's why they're so hard to beat. You know, my numbers here definitely like Coastal Carolina. And they like the over and the team total over as well. Where are we? Okay. Okay. Yeah, they like Coastal Carolina. They even like it minus 380 on the money line. I don't know if I can justify that. I can't make those official plays. With the numbers like Coastal Carolina, the over, and the Coastal Carolina team total over. Small on all of them, obviously. If they liked them bigger, I would give them as official plays. Coastal Carolina, team total over 41. Tempting to give that one as a small play, but I can't do it. Sorry, guys. I've given some plays. I've given opinions to William and Mary's and St. Joseph's. Let's look at that one. William and Mary, St. Joe's. I'm sharing opinions. I'm just, being very selective with what I put on my official record here. What's the line here? St. Joe's. All right, let's look at the Northeastern game, though. Come on. Okay. Northeastern, clearly the better team, but I didn't really like this spot or the number, and I like Detroit plus 6. Unfortunately, the halftime lines might not have anything. Detroit plus 2.5 and 76. Oh, man. Ugh. Yeah. I like Detroit plus 6 and the under 149 and the Northeastern team total under. I got to start giving out pregame picks because this one is just like I'm just going to let all that ride for my bets. Not going to try to force anything second half. The halftime numbers actually slightly like Northeastern. Pre-game numbers slightly like Detroit at this point. And pre-game numbers slightly like the under. Halftime numbers slightly like the over. So, yeah, this is what sports betting is, right? Because you're going up against a lot of smart guys with a lot of computing power and a lot of confidence setting all these numbers, I've been able to do well so far, but you're not going to just waltz right in and start, nailing 15% edges left and right. You know what I'm saying? There's small edges, and you hope to do well long term. Damn it. Okay, the William and Mary game, St. Joe's. Plus 4. Numbers actually like St. Joe's here at plus 4. Halftime numbers like St. Joe's a little bit at plus 4. That would be a small play, but it would be justifiable according to the halftime numbers. But I didn't have any pregame numbers on that, so. Duke up to 6.5. Interesting shit there. All right, listen, guys, let's look at this Charlotte game. What the hell? I wish I had more official plays for you, but I'm sharing my thoughts on all this stuff. And again, don't blame me if the lines are sharp. The lines are sharp everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Lines are sharp everywhere. Oh, the Charlotte game's already off. Oh, man. All right, so what did I give? Just Duke and Marshall. Well, at least I gave a play on the big game, right? Oh, Texas State, Georgia Southern. All right, let's look at that. That's another interesting one. Texas State, obviously the better team. Texas State, the better team, but yeah. Oh, man. Oh, wait a minute. Well, yeah. Numbers like Georgia Southern here. Quite a bit. What is it? -1? All right, here we go. Play rated big. You ready? Georgia Southern -1, rated big. Georgia Southern. Okay, here we go. -1, rated big. So we got to play on the Duke game. We got a play rated big, and that's going to be Georgia Southern -1, rated big, right? There's a play for you. Texas State, the better team, but the numbers like Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern -1, rated big. Georgia Southern -1, rated big. And also the over and the Georgia Southern team total over. Texas State, yeah. The numbers like Georgia Southern -1 much more than anything else, but they also like the over and the Georgia Southern team total over 37 a little bit as well. Again, Georgia Southern -1, big rated play, rated big, the top level that my plays can be rated. -1, -110. Georgia Southern. All right, I gave a big rated play, so now I don't have to force anything. Again, the numbers like the over a little bit and the Georgia Southern team total over 37 a little bit as well. And I will make both of those official plays, but they're going to be small. Okay, so Georgia Southern team total over 37 and the second half over 73, which is now -115. And those are both small, borderline medium small. I could go with either one. And I will I'll just make both of them I'll make the Georgia Southern team total over medium small and the over 73 -115 small. But either of them could have been either one of those. Numbers like both of them a little bit, but the Georgia Southern -1 is the play that it likes a lot. Let's see what else. What else is coming down the pike here? Interesting. I guess that's it, right? I guess that's it. Yeah, the Georgia Southern line is still up. And these numbers like Georgia Southern here. -1. Really, really nice play there, according to these numbers. Is anyone still watching? Let me check. You're okay if they're not, but oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Rich G, what was the Duke play? -6, -115. Now, I talked about that game before the second half lines came up. I mentioned how many people that I know were liking Wofford. Some I respect tremendously. Some I don't respect at all. Others I never heard of. And it's understandable why. My numbers said no. I didn't bet Duke pregame, but I was definitely not touching Wofford as opposed to Prairie View, which I did touch. But then the second half lines came in, and I just like the numbers say Duke here -6. So there you go. Nello I, 50 of us here staring at you and clanking your keys. Yeah, I mean, Ricky Vaughn says I'm okay. Yeah. I don't know. Should I get some kind of like? I mean, what do you guys think? This show is for you. Well, should it's not. I don't have some boss like Peter. We're paying you $5 an hour to do this show. No, this show is for you. Should I get some kind of like entertainment, quote unquote? I mean, what could I have? I could have like a guest capper talking about some other sport maybe while I'm doing that, but then I'd have to cut in with my plays and analysis. I could have, a comedian or a chick or something like hanging out and chatting about whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. You know what I'm saying? Hugh Direction says, I live for this. I live for you, Hugh Direction. Hugh Direction. You notice I put the pause in there. 3-second pause. You're not going to get me. You got to get up a little earlier in the morning to get me on that one. You know what I'm saying? When I read that name, I go, Hugh Direction. Rover Alex says, you're all I need. Rich G says, this is at least worth minimum wage, Pete. Yeah, absolutely. A person who does what I do should not have to live in poverty. I should be able to afford health care. I should be able to afford to send my kids to college. I should be able to afford to take a vacation every year. Shy Archie, shout out to you, Shy Archie. Nello I, that's one. There's one. Ricky Vaughn says this is Jay Ryan. Jay Ryan, which Jay Ryan is that? Is that John Ryan? Let's see. Other comments coming in. Other comments. Yeah, see, there's all these comments that like I just didn't see because I was sitting there looking at numbers for 20 minutes. I'm just looking. People seem to be squabbling a little bit here. 37 Scanler, shout out to you. All right. Now, Rich G says, find your own Minty Bets eye candy. Yeah. Now, that stuff ain't free, though. You know what I mean? You can't just, like, get legit talent for nothing. You got to pay them. Christopher Clementini says, you like Northern Arizona? Yeah, I mean, that's a game that I'm going to be looking at a lot harder at the second half than pregame. But yes, I like Northern Arizona. If I had an opinion on the total, I would recommend a play on a team total, but I'm agnostic. I'm agnostic on the total. So this is a game where I would take very small play on Northern Arizona pregame and then adjust second half based on whatever happens. Let me see. What did I do here? Okay, so we got all the. All right, so let me get it all together here and make a decision. We got 3 8:00 games coming up. Do these have second half written all over them? A little bit, yeah, actually. Appalachian State, ULM, yes. The Houston UTEP game is very interesting. I mean, let me see. Do you guys want to hear me talk about college basketball? Because I broke the hell down out of all these games. Let me see. There's 46 people in here. That's fine, right? Shout out to you, Christopher Comatini. Alex Play says, Pete, you ever try switching to tea instead of coffee? Yeah, but, I try everything. Nello I, you could help Trump as his capper. I'll tell you one thing I'm definitely good at, which a lot of people know. Political props, political odds, which you can bet at like Betfair and stuff, are very soft. I told everyone from day one, bet the no on Biden. When Buttigieg was 12-1, I said, that's the guy. Then when he went down to 5-1 or 6-1, then I said, sell Buttigieg. I told all my friends here, these are quant guys, and they were impressed with what I did. I said, sell Biden early, and now he's actually coming back. I'll have to check the odds. And about 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, I was walking down the street, and I turned to him, I swear, and I said, you know where the value is. I was like, Buttigieg at 12-1, bam. 3 weeks later, he's 5-1, 6-1. I'm like, now you sell. Bam. That's how you do it. I only like to bet political props, though. When you can either bet the no or at exchanges. because, I would never have bet Buttigieg to actually win the nomination. I just thought that his odds were going to drop significantly in the near future. And then you go back on Betfair and sell them, which can be problematic because you might not necessarily be able to get the amount that you want, and some places will offer you no quote, the no side of a prop. Others won't. Pinnacle usually will, but not all the time, So, but I will share with you any political props that come up. And specifically, if I have the time, there's going to be some great bets when the election comes around on states. In the last one, if you remember, I did a video at my old company where I said take Hillary, Nevada. She's going to win Nevada. Bam, won Nevada. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in. Alex Plays said, Pete, do you ever try switching to tea instead of coffee? Do I seem, am I talking too fast? I mean, yeah, I drink coffee because I'm trying to be as sharp and on the ball as I possibly can when the cameras are rolling. Shout out to Mr. Gokster. Let's see. Huge shout out to Mr. Gokster. Alex Plays, tell me if I'm talking too fast. I feel like I should. Let me see. Other comments coming in. All right, so you know what? I don't know. I mean, I could just tweet those plays out, though. You want to sit here for 30 minutes? There's nothing else really to talk about. Again, Prairie View, plus 20 I like. The under, a little bit less. And the Colorado team total under. The Houston UTEP game is interesting. Obviously, UTEP is an impressive team. But I don't like the spot for them. Houston is a great rebounding team, and they're off a loss. And UTEP is off of 2 wins in that tournament they just hosted. The spot tells me Houston big time. It's just that when I ran the numbers because of what UTEP has done this year, the numbers said no. The numbers said the line is inflated, which is probably telling you something. So that's a tough one, and I'm probably not going to have a second half play on that one either. But it's very interesting. But yeah, Houston, a quality team, awful loss, great rebounding team, and UTEP not in a very good spot. So, but the other 2 games at 8 o'clock, ULM and Appalachian State definitely have second half written all over it. NC State, that game will have second half written all over it. Again, liking NC State plus 7.5 and a little bit less the under at 152. Loyola Marymount, liking that one minus 3. A little bit less the over, and the LMU team total over. Northern Arizona talked about that one, and the Washington State game. I avoided the temptation to take a shot with Florida A&M, even though they've been a great big underdog so far this year, playing a lot of games on a big long road trip against quality teams where they were outmatched, but the market overestimated how outmatched they were. And this is a spot where I don't like them, but I do kind of like the under at 136.5. I'm just repeating stuff that I said in the beginning of the show in case anyone missed it. At the beginning of the show, I went over all of my opinions on the upcoming games. Let's see if anyone's watching, and then let's decide what to do. I guess that's it. Shy Archie says coffee is for closers. Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's just wrap it up here. Let's not overstay our welcome. I'll be back tomorrow, but these 8 o'clock games, when those halftimes come up, if there's anything I'm really liking, I guess I'll tweet it out. I'll try. I guess we can wrap it up here. I gave out several picks. I gave out a bunch of other opinions that were borderline that could have been picks, but weren't. And hopefully it'll be another positive day, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow is another relatively modest slate, but I'll be here. Let me just quickly check what's going on tomorrow. And then we'll wrap this up. Yeah, some afternoon games, Penn State game. Yeah, again, a bunch of 7 o'clock games, and then not much later on. So we'll do the same thing tomorrow. We'll cover the 7 o'clock halftime games. I'll give you my in-depth analysis of all the games that start 8 o'clock and later, just a handful of them tomorrow. And hopefully we'll wind up the week positive for the week. If I have a winning day today, then almost definitely there's no way I can mess it all up on Friday. I'll see you then. See you tomorrow, everyone.